Yo. Let's get it popping. What's up, man? You ain't coming with me, man. What's going on? You acting new. You got your
Run it back.
God dang.
Yo.
Yes, sir. We in the building. 1% Better Show. This is episode 22.
Yes, sir.
I am Mr. J. Hill.
Alexander Blanc.
This is my guy, Alexander Blanc, formerly known as my producer. Now, my road dog, my partner in crime.
It's crazy.
My co-host, everything. Like, this is my dog right here.
We done come a long way.
We came a long way. And we got a special guest in the building.
Yes.
All the way
What's up?
from Wisconsin.
Wisconsin in the building.
Not the little one, but the biggest of the biggest, Big Kayla in the building. What up?
What's up, y'all?
How you feeling, man?
I can't complain.
Big energy. How you feeling today?
Man, it's cancer season, man. So I just feel like I'm very blessed.
It is cancer
very
season.
highly favored, you know?
Speaking of cancer, matter of fact, before we get started, I got something for you, brother. Hold on.
Oh, my gosh.
It's definitely cancer season. How do
What
you feel?
do? What you got for me?
Nah, I don't see cancer. You cancering right now. You gotta just let it be sometimes. See,
What you got for me?
Cancer season, you supposed to be laid back. Let everything come to you. Yeah. Just sit back, see? Enjoy it. Ready?
This nigga.
Right?
This nigga's
You gotta just vibe. Just vibe, cancer.
What? This nigga is crazy.
Oh, yes, sir.
Oh, this nigga's full of shit.
Happy
Oh, my God. Oh, my gosh.
You gotta love it.
Oh, man.
We had, I don't know where we put the candles.
The candles is in my bed.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, hold
Y'all
on.
niggas are annoying. This why you didn't want me to go upstairs?
Yeah, this is why.
You're annoying. You're annoying. I genuinely did not see this though. That's the whole crazy thing. I genuinely did not see this. This nigga Jay's annoying. I'm like, bro, let me tell you why this nigga Jay is annoying. This nigga like, yeah, bro, I just want to let you know I'm about to go pick up food. I'm like, food don't take 35 minutes. You full of shit.
Yeah, man, we had to look. We had to get everything for you.
Oh, this guy.
Hold on, let's open this.
Oh, y'all niggas is something. How does this look on camera?
I don't know.
How does this look like somebody?
They gonna see it.
Oh my gosh.
They gonna get this energy.
Oh, y'all too much. What's that, ice cream cake? Nigga got ice cream cake.
I really wanted to get you some roses, you feel me?
Aw,
because you deserve your flowers while you're here, brother. Here you go.
I'm a fan. Yeah. Damn.
Uh-huh.
That's crazy. This nigga's annoying. this nigga's annoying, bro. This nigga talking about some, don't go upstairs. Don't go upstairs.
But did you show him the flicks though?
Like
you entering
that's really crazy.
Yeah, brother, take your cake. I got some plates and stuff in case you want to cut it. I got a cake cutter. Yeah, hold that.
Man.
I love this.
Yeah, hold up. I think I got to cut them up upstairs. It's here somewhere. Take your card.
It's gotta be close.
Take your card, brother.
I appreciate you, my brother.
Let's see if we can sit this behind you real quick. Let's see.
Okay. Get the angle.
Y'all really got an ice cream cake. Oh. It went out.
It's cool. It's that.
The air conditioner.
Yep.
I got an ice cream cake. I know that was my favorite.
I ain't know nothing.
Y'all crazy.
Yes, sir.
I love it.
Y'all crazy.
You can see.
This nigga Jay is crazy.
Yeah.
Why do
Yeah.
we use that word? I think that's a cancer thing.
What?
We be so full and we use that word crazy
Wait,
every time.
hold on. Hey,
It's so
We just
crazy.
can't believe it.
Yeah, make sure you make your wish, blow your candles out. I give you your card.
You did.
All right. I mean the AC is working in here.
Yeah.
Hey, just make your wish, blow it out, man.
My wish is I'm living my wish right now.
Ah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
Love
sir.
it.
Happy birthday, brother.
Fan it.
If anybody deserve their flowers and their cake, it's you. You know we hear they're saying you deserve your cake. You want to have your cake and eat it too. I do. You deserve the cake and you deserve to eat it too. So if you want to cut it,
appreciate that.
we got plates, we got forks and stuff. If y'all want to indulge in it, we can. It is an ice cream cake, I think. If y'all want to wait, we can wait.
We can wait.
We can wait.
You want to put that upstairs real quick?
I'll
so
take it out.
This man, Jay.
That's fine.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. Nah, this nigga Jay's foolish. This nigga Jay's annoying. I'm like, bruh.
You couldn't figure it out too.
Nah, because then he called Janae and was like, he called a homegirl, was like, yo, where Alex? I'm like, what is he doing? Like, what's going on? Like, I was like,
don't you feel better now that you didn't know though? It was
because I'm like, I'm piecing it together. I'm like,
yeah, it all makes sense later.
Because she's like, wait, he's like, yeah, she's right here waiting on you. I'm like, this man took about 35 minutes. I'm like, nah, the Jamaican spot right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm not easily surprised, but you got me.
That's why I love.
And you know what's crazy?
What's crazy, bro? What's crazy?
I bent the corner. I made that left. I went into the living room.
Oh, yeah.
So I didn't look into the kitchen. Like, normally I walk around to the kitchen and then go into the living room. And I made that left.
See, that was God.
It just pissed me off.
Yeah. And even I said, I'm like, even if he suspects something, he ain't gonna suspect this. So whatever. It is what it is. Yeah. How you feeling, man?
Mission accomplished.
Yeah, man. I love you, brother.
You got me.
It's your birthday. What you looking forward to?
Life, bro. I'm just grateful. I'm grateful, bro.
I got you a card. You seen your card?
I know.
You know what I'm saying? Just nice little card. You know what I'm saying?
This nigga Jay is, man.
What, bro? I had to write that fast too, so I literally wrote that.
I ain't reading it around camera.
It ain't not that crazy.
I ain't about to cry
because it's
on
fast.
camera.
It was fast.
Come on, just live in your moment.
It wasn't nothing crazy.
Y'all
Bro.
over
I
here.
promise it wasn't nothing crazy. I would have tell you if I took because it was fast. Had to make it fast. Oh, literally.
Appreciate that, my brother.
Of course, brother. You already know,
Seriously. Man. All right. You know what I'm saying? She over here smiling like she guys up. Like,
Cause I love love.
Your season is coming too.
The 11th?
It is. Yeah.
So, Alex, what you about to be 30?
Yeah.
I guess I know we usually say how was your week, but I guess what do you look forward to in year 30?
That's tough. I think looking forward to in year 30. This is a new decade. You know what I'm saying? Like the chapter of 20 is closed, and I learned so much. Like, you don't realize how long 10 years is because, like, all right, when you're from like before 20, you're a kid. You know what I'm saying? You're not really thinking on your own and things of that nature. But like now, I'm stepping into this season where my frontal lobe has now developed. The decisions are a little bit different, and just being more graceful with myself. I think if we could go back and talk about my 20s taught me to, one, like, understand that everything doesn't have to happen at the same time. But more importantly, like, let people be who they are and just decide whether or not you can accept them, right? So as far as, like, community and things of that nature, understanding that I have the discernment, but now it's like applying the discernment. So I'm grateful, bro. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. This shit warm my heart. This whole week.
Pop a bottle or something?
Yeah, man.
Let's pop a bottle, man.
This whole week.
That was a great breakdown of 10 years. Like, I love that you have that perception that you are able to grow the way you are. Because look at the material. That mindset is,
Nah, I mean, bro, it's definitely something that I feel like it was tough. Because early on, and I was talking to Jay about it, I was like, bro, I feel like I was forced to grow up early. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times when we go into seasons, and we could talk about it more when he come back, but we feel like you have to have everything figured out.
Facts.
And you don't. We tell ourselves a facade. But there's people that don't figure it out till they're 50 and still live a great life. But I think people put the pressure on trying to have everything figured out by 25 when it's like, you're still a kid. Yeah. Like you're really a kid still.
When you grow up fast, though, it puts you in the mindset of maturity. And so a lot of times we operate from a space mentally that we're not physically even at yet. You always got to think ahead. You always got to think ahead when you got to grow up fast. So the beauty of it is, though, is that your 30s, and this is just me speaking from my own experience, like, you feel like you could just slow down. Just enjoy moments for what they are. Enjoy people for the seasons that they are in, you know. And then be comfortable enough to trust, like, even if it, like just now with the cake, you knew something was happening. You just didn't know what.
Yeah, because he was like, bruh, Alex, stop going upstairs. I'm like, bruh, I'm just trying to dab my shirt. Then I'm like, I got to go get the cord. My laptop about to die. I'm just like, what is going on?
Yeah.
You a sneaky motherfucker. I'll tell you what. Sneaking right here.
It's for you, brother. You deserve it.
I
So I guess
appreciate you.
before we take our toast, what do you? Because you about to be 30 as well.
Yeah.
What are you looking forward to when you're 30?
Just knowing who I am and like operating in my life and my gift a little bit better, you know. Understanding that my light is supposed to be in rooms, not being afraid to keep it on instead of turn it off. Like, definitely, like being a mom, I'm anxious for the milestones. Like, I can't wait to watch my kids grow up bigger and better, be who they're supposed to be.
That's good.
Yeah, I think being a parent makes me better, you know, because I have to constantly think for other people, so I can't be too selfish. And I think that helps me, like, not take things personal and just be in a space where I just trust things. Like, it's going to get older. It's going to get more seasoned, and I just got to trust the process. I don't got to know everything right now.
I love that. So do me a favor. Turn behind you. Grab a pink bottle. Let's make this toast.
She got to pop it.
I got to pop it.
It was your birthday. You know how to?
Nah, you know, I don't know
I'll do
nothing
it.
about that.
I'll do it. I got y'all. I'll do the honest, man. Come on.
That's why I love trusting the process. I ain't even have to know. I just had to show up.
Show up, man.
So grab the pink bottle and pop it.
So this is what they were telling us, the oat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What's
Okay.
oat?
Court.
We just learned something new.
That's what it means. But basically, that's the, in layman's terms, basically. But it really means it's not as age. Because I think the court helps at age.
Oh, okay.
They didn't tell us that, but now that I think about it, because we looked at the definition of what it meant, and then somebody else told us what it meant. And I'm thinking about it. I'm like, I think when you cork it, is age longer.
Okay.
If I had to assume, I could be wrong though. But we had two different definitions.
So what's the benefit of age versus not age? It just tastes
Age,
better?
Yeah.
Okay.
We was trying to get you some wine, but it was too early.
Oh, it wasn't aged.
No, it was the time.
Yeah.
I feel you, though.
The time it just wasn't. It got to be 12:30.
Really?
It's Sunday.
Y'all hear what y'all saying, right? It gets better with time.
Yeah.
Heard.
The best years I had. That's another thing I would say.
Damn, it was too early.
It was
Yeah.
too early. Yeah.
It was too early. It's too early, so it's perfect timing now. That's sure.
We got something going on. I like that.
Let's take a toast to everybody. Toast to perfect timing.
Perfect timing.
Perfect
like
timing.
that, perfect
Yes, sir.
It's a great episode already. I'm cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see y'all only poured a little bit. Y'all be...
We didn't have to do too much.
Oh, my
We can
gosh.
fill your cup. Heard?
Nah, he really about to give us some rum. Look,
Come
I
on.
see you.
We here. All right, let's... First of all, let's get to the episode. Yo, thank you for all the returning and new subscribers of the J Hill Network, the 1% Better Show, J Hill Podcast, all of that. We appreciate you guys. If you would like to support the show, all you got to do is support by one of these little tabs below. Cash App, Zelle, PayPal, all of that. We greatly appreciate it. Anything that you support, make sure you leave a note so we can give you a shout out on the show. It goes towards everything we use. Everything is fully independent, meaning I was able to pay for all of this out of my own pockets, and it is a lot. You see the quality look good. It sounds good. We're trying to give you industry standard. So we appreciate all that you can donate or help us out with. With further ado, let's get into this podcast, man.
Let's do it.
What we talking about today, Alex?
Well, you had a great core discussion, actually. And I think it's right on time.
Perfect timing, come on.
Yeah, bro. I think that's what we're going to call this episode. Perfect timing. But you were talking about people not getting or understanding things, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But I guess my question for you was like, what was the realization? Like, what made you get to this place?
You funny, boy. Hey, I ain't holding back.
This nigga said, oh,
Boy, Alani's mom.
oh shit.
Hey, you know what else I've learned? I've come to be okay with? It's who I am. And you, out of all people, know this. I'm back and forth with accepting it, especially when we talk about being this disruptor, and really trying to do better, as in, like, be easier to hear, you know what I'm saying, like softer in a way. And I think I was watching something, and I was like, bro, no matter what, people gonna have something to say. So I might as well just be me. At least, even if it's the wrong eyes, shit. Clearly, it's something that makes people like turn their ears and want to listen, right? So but as my friend, you know that I deal with that a lot. A lot of people might not understand. They probably see the clips and be like, this nigga, he really say what he want. I'm like, y'all have no idea how much of back and forth I have.
Yeah.
But anyway, with all that being said, yeah, Alani's mom. And not even on the bash nobody. It's just I had to really learn to be okay with just agreeing to disagree and not getting caught up in the disagreement so much that is an argument. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and I think things are so much better on my side. I can't speak for everyone, right? But I feel so much better. I feel so much relieved. I don't have to be trapped in a prison almost, so to say, to my feelings and a misunderstanding. You know what? And I don't have to yearn for the urge to be understood, right? It's okay. You don't get it. It might be 100,000 people that might not get it, but it's somebody that's going to get it. And the people that get it, I have to find them, and then that be my tribe. You know, I made a toast at my friend's wedding last week, and I don't even know where I got this from, but it just came out my heart, and it was in my spirit. And I'm like, yo, a lot of people talk about the village it takes to raise a kid, but they don't talk about the village it takes to support a friend. You know what I'm saying? So like, I want to walk into the season of just having a village of friends and accepting it and really appreciating that. Too many times we on the internet, we learn about the haters. Too many times we talking about how people don't appreciate us. Too many times we talking about how many people don't support us. What does that say to the people that do support you? What does that say about the friends that do got your back? That's some ungrateful things. That's some ungrateful shit to have, like to feel, right? Not even to feel. That's just some ungrateful shit to acknowledge if you're not going to acknowledge the people that do got your back. If you're not going to acknowledge the people that do support you. It's like so many times we can get frustrated and we'll be like, man, I'm tired of all these haters. Or I'm tired of all this. Let me hear you say how much you love the niggas that is there. Because we always want to point out how much it drives us, how much it fuels us by the hate. What did the love do? You get what I'm trying to say? So like, let's look at it like that. And I had to really come to terms with like, yo, I can't let this control me anymore. You don't get it. They don't get it. So be it. I'm going to surround myself around the people who do get it. And then we going to click. And the people that don't get it, that don't mean nothing is wrong with them. We just don't mesh in that space to get each other. And that's okay. Let's leave it at that. We do a great job at co-parenting. We don't got to go into everything else. And that's cool. The moment we try to go outside of those lines is when things get messy, it get rocky, right? So we know what we good at. Let's continue to work on that and continue to drive in that space. And then what we not good at, we don't even gotta go there.
Yeah, no, first of all, that was dope. And very mature of you to get to that place, because a lot of people, it's like the sense of validation forces people, you find yourself on a hamster wheel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, I need to be heard. I need to be understood, because a lot of times I think it's like, when we don't feel heard or understood by the person that we care about or the person that we're talking to in that particular moment, it feels like our point is invalidated. So it's just like, okay, if you believe strongly in what you're saying, then whether or not the person understands it in this particular moment, because they just may not have the capacity in this season. And that's another thing that you learn. It's just like, bro, they just may not be there to be able to process it right now. But then they'll remember it, and potentially down the line, they could be like, yo, oh, that's what he was talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if we're in a place right now where we're just arguing for the sake of arguing to make sure, like, oh, you get it right now, do you understand? A lot of times you burn yourself out in the process.
But even like to add to that, what I've had, and when I mean by really walking into it and just living in that space is, because I used to say, she'll get it but later, or when I'm not there maybe. But being okay that they may never get it. That's the thing.
What I was about to say.
You know what I'm saying? Because the more you look forward to them getting it, the more you have that urge of them understanding and eventually getting it. When it's okay that they don't, because that just might not be your tribe. And just because somebody is not your tribe doesn't mean that they're a bad person. Doesn't mean that y'all got to be enemies. No, that just isn't the people for you. And let's normalize this. Let's normalize people not being people for us. That don't mean that they're a bad person just because their opinions are different than ours. We don't have to judge these people. You know what I'm saying? They can live in their life and it be okay, just as we can live in our life and be okay. Remember, we always talk about, everybody always got these two truths, like your truth and my truth. Guess what? We're in a world where your truth can exist and so can my truth. And that's okay. As long as I ain't hurting you, I ain't doing nothing that's going to diminish your character or that's going to hurt what you got going on. yo, your truth can be your truth, and my truth is gonna be my truth.
I'm so happy that you said that, bro, because I mean it kind of goes to the point that I was saying earlier, bro. The number one thing that I learned was don't try to change a person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Let the person be who they are. I don't want you to change who you are for me. Nope. Like, be who you are, and then I just have to know whether or not I can tolerate it or not.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think a lot of times it's like we try to force people to fit into our mode or our lifestyles, and then we get mad on the other side of it when it's like, bro, you don't get it. Well, you never was going to understand it.
And look how we got kids, right?
Yeah.
If my daughter, they got the little block games, and I said it before. Imagine your kid is trying to put
a triangle in a circle.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like they trying to put a triangle in a circle. It's not going to work. I'm not going to get upset with my child. Like, hey, look, let's try another one.
It's called patience.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And we got to have patience with our relationships. Mm-hmm. You got to have patience with people even though they might not fit in our circle. Yeah. It's okay. You know what? That doesn't fit. So what do we do when things don't fit? We don't force it.
Yeah.
We just be like, you know what? I'm going to get the shape that does fit.
Yeah.
Right? Same with people. They don't fit. I'm not going to force this relationship. I'm going to find somebody who does fit. And it's that simple.
Or even the perspective of making peace that it's going to come to you. And it's like we say, perfect timing. It's like even this conversation, right? Think about how many times we tried to schedule. And then now the conversation feels good. It's a different vibe to it, a frequency. We're both turning 30 at the same time. It's like understanding that every moment is sequenced. It's going to happen exactly where it's supposed to happen. And the place that you're describing, I just want to put a word to it. It's called peace. It's where you can look at people in situations and you can say, look, I accept you exactly as you are. I make peace for the fact that it may not be conducive to where I'm at right now. However, I like to say, too, that you got to always leave room for growth. So it's like you might circulate back to the same people and they may be in different seasons just like you are. And I think that's where you add grace to peace. Is that for me, I have to do it all the time. With both my children's fathers, it can be a frustrating thing because you're dealing with two different types of people. And it's like, I know things are working for me, not against me. So what I've learned to start doing when I get in moments to where it's like, you know what? I could find you frustrating. Or I could just find you to be exactly who you are, be comfortable with that. And part of the 4 agreements is not taking things personal. So sitting back and being like, you know what? I'm going to give you room to grow. And adding that to people has significantly changed the way that I bounce back when I start getting frustrated. Because we all have it, you know? Especially when you're working, you're trying to make things happen not only for yourself, but for your children, for the people around you. It's constant pressure if you let it be. But, like, pressure can make diamonds or it can burst pipes. And so you have to choose which one is more conducive to your growth. Like me, I'd rather be a diamond at the end of it all. You know what I'm saying? So I might have to be in the dirt for a little bit. I might feel like I'm not being seen, acknowledged, heard, you know. But like you said, going back to your point about people in the right space and the right time, it's like this is the most heard I've felt. Because it's like, you know what, there's somebody out there who's working to do exactly what you're doing, and they're being successful at it. And it's giving them the feeling that you know is there, even if in this moment you don't feel that. So this is definitely perfect timing.
Nah, that was good.
You know what's funny, bro?
Okay.
We was going to talk about this, and I'm gonna bring it up, but even to her point, it's about perfect timing. And, like, I've spoken about this so many times, and sometimes it can show up and look like it's arrogance. It's like, bro, as much as I want success, I don't want it bad enough to, like, change who I am. So if I got to go through this process and it looks like this, I'm okay with that. But to other people, it might look like arrogance. It might look like you don't listen. No. I understand that my journey is for me, and your journey is for you. And that doesn't mean that I can't take advice. That doesn't mean that I can't value your opinion. But at the end of the day, I have to make a decision for myself that's going to work for the path of my career, right? And I think this conversation is so bigger than like just people you deal with. It's really how you operate and go at life. You know what I'm trying to say? Because if we could come to peace with just things, I got the tattoo. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, but the wisdom to know the difference, right? I think that quote in itself is peace, right? Because if I'm okay with whatever happens, but the things I can change, I will change, right? And the things that I can't, I can understand what I can and cannot. You get what I'm saying? And I feel like so many times we try to be forceful in our careers. We try to be forceful in our relationships. We try to be forceful with just life in itself. when people die, when things happen that we don't like or we don't agree with. It's like it hurt us so much. And it's like, I think if we could come to a place and be at peace where not that we ignore it or we overlook it or we just throw it in the back, because that, you know what I'm saying, like that causes all type of trauma, but we can accept it, be present in it, but still also understand that this doesn't change anything, if that makes sense.
Yeah. This, again, the synergy is just amazing on this episode because, like, I talked to you about this, but you didn't hear it. So my job, you know, they did another surprise. Y'all been surprising me. Yeah, I love y'all.
Look,
but
it's beautiful.
I know it's a beautiful
moment to
thing.
be in,
But I told
sure.
him, I was like, bro, I was very emotional and tearing up because they had a conversation. I showed up. They had a background with my face, and it was like happy birthday and things of that nature. But the one thing that stood out to me was like the consistency in the messaging and what they said, right? So
that means you are exactly who you present yourself to be.
But that right there is what, when you were just talking about being okay, like sometimes I used to beat myself up because I'm like, dang, bro, I'm not showing up as who I'm like saying.
Because
but
you know
then
when you're holding yourself back.
sometimes, right? Yeah. But then also I was aligning it with what I do. And I said something in the message when I was thinking about it. I said, just having this conversation made me realize that, like, purpose isn't what you do, it's who you are. And, like,
that's a bar.
That's like everything that comes afterwards is a domino effect of it. You know, and when you're in a position, we talked about it with Wolf, like recognizing and align with purpose, that's why you can go through the path that you're going through. You can have the conversation that you're having, and it comes off as confidence that, like, all right, bro, it may not look the way that you are wanting to look. You may say you should be much further along, but this is God's purpose for my life, and I'm not going to rush the process for your convenience. And I think a lot of times, because people don't get it, we rush their process trying to live up to other people's standards for our lives. And I think as I was just reflecting on it, I was just like, dang, bro, like, my CEO said it, he was like, bro, everything that you do is ministry. And I was like, huh? Like when he said it, because you said it before. And it's like so much of what everybody's like, man, you have this calling on your life. You got to do this, that, and the third. And I always used to tell people, bro, I was like, I don't see myself standing on no pulpit. You know what I mean? But it was just like to know that in every avenue, even if it doesn't make sense to the person on the outside, it's like, no, I'm still doing God's plans for my life. It just looked different.
And your pulpit can be any space you walk into.
Exactly.
Like people, you know, people always like Jay the preacher man, right? And like we all had hoop dreams. I wanted to play in the league. You know what I'm saying? Played college football, all of that. And then I started hosting, and then I started understanding how powerful my voice was. And then we get into radio, then we get into podcasts. Podcast was something I didn't even know about.
Exactly.
Right? So it's like we almost fall into podcasting, and now we have a space, a platform where our voices can be heard around the world. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's like, and what do we talk about most of the time? Things that's going to get better, right? Talk about God all the time. So like that shows you that your pulpit can be any space that you walk into.
Hey, are you about to say something?
No, I was gonna agree with that. That's kind of where I was gonna go with it. Is that sometimes like God has you serve in rooms that other people won't go to, and that's what makes it so special when you get there. Is it's like you don't. It's so natural. It's so in you and not on you that you don't even feel like you ministering. Like I resonate heavily with what you were saying because sometimes I feel like when you compare yourself to certain people who do minister, and you look at yourself and where you're at, it can feel like you're not ministering. But it's just a word. You know what I'm saying? Behind every word is an action. It's something to it. And so you're the something to it. And the more that you understand that and you live in that moment, bro, you'll find yourself in all different types of rooms doing things that other people can't even get to because it's not on their checklist. But it's there for you.
You the something to it was fire.
You
That was the bar. That was the bar. You the something to it. That was fire.
Like,
that was fire. That was fire.
Though, like I love to hear both of y'all speak. Like, and even him, as we was going to go get the stuff right, I was just complimenting his essence of who he is. As being a person who could resonate heavily with where you guys are at, I'd say that we all naturally want validation in some form or fashion.
Naturally.
It's just the places that we seek it from sometimes, they're not capable of validating us at the level that we're at. And when you accept that, you can enter into the rooms where it's there. It's already understood. You don't have to explain it. I think for me, like, in essence, like with dating, something that I say very often is it's like, if a man wants to, he will. Just like if a woman wants to, she will.
Yep.
Like, people are intentional about you. Like, we talked about accepting people for who they are. Part of loving someone and people is being willing and open to change certain aspects of your habits, not who you are, your habits, in order to appease who someone else is. So if somebody doesn't have that effort, whether it's a friend, a family member, a relationship, partner, like, you have to understand they'll just do things without you having to say anything. It just comes to you like everything else in your life.
Nah, that was good, bro. But, to that point, you said we're very human. We're human. And, one thing that I've gotten to recognize is, like, when was that turning point, right? And it comes in different levels, right?
Yeah.
Because I feel like we've talked about this before. So it's like, nah, man, people going to just be people. Because Jay said something to me before. And when he said it, it was like, damn. Like, I had to check myself because I remember we had the first clip that ever went viral. It's like 3 million people watched that joint. It's like over, I don't know, how many thousand comments. And I'm scrolling through, and I'm just picking all the negative comments. All the negative comments. And I'm just like, I remember myself sitting in this moment. I was like, bro, like, I didn't say that. Like, we didn't say that. Like, how did you take this out of context? And Jay said something that was so resounding in that moment. He was like, bro, you scrolled past all them comments. And you picked that one. I was like, yeah, bro, because, like, what is he talking about? He was just like, bro, you got to check yourself. I was just like, okay. And it just made me think about, like, that. It's the aspect of validation. Again, like, going back to that place where, but we're human. So, like, there's a lot of people that are in this place right now where it's just like, man, I just want to be heard. I just want to be seen. And there's nothing wrong with that, though. You know what I'm saying? I don't want us to feel like, to make it seem like that's not a valid feeling. Like, you're going to go through those moments. But I think the problem is, like you said, we're looking at sources that will never, that can't validate us in that moment. And I think just listening to everybody in this conversation, well, I already know where you are, but then I just got introduced to you. I think we all are getting to a place where we understand the number one source of validation is God.
For sure.
And I think that because a lot of people are in a place where it's like a voidless, like a void in their hearts, they're trying to plug things into that hole that it will never be filled. So they get frustrated because, again, you're putting a triangle in a circle that that only God can fill. And just listening to you, I guess the question that I ask myself is, how do we keep this practical, though? Like, what are the practical steps, to doing this daily?
So I think
Gratefulness.
Like gratitude?
Yeah, like being in a space. I didn't mean to cut you off either, but like just being in a space where you really like recognize every moment is for you and not against you. Like everything that's happening.
Yeah, no, I think gratitude is definitely a one. I was going to say, every time I practicals.
Practicality,
Practicalities, whatever. I think always understanding the main thing, but I guess we go into deeper into that. Whatever your routine is, right? Stay at it. Yeah. Things are going to be hard, but stay at it. So if you're a mother, right, it's going to be days where you don't feel like being a mother. If you're a father, it's going to be days where you're discouraged, you don't feel like you're the best father. But continue to show up, because the moment you stop is the moment when it's over. But you continue to show up as you continue to show up, and then it always get better. The same thing with me. Like, I crossed, right? I pledged. And one thing, the hardest thing to do when I pledged was to show up the next day. But guess what? You show up the next day, the day has to end. At the end of the day got to end. And as much as we joke about that saying, that's the realest thing ever. Yeah. At the end of the day has to end. So as long as you show up, you did your part. You talked about this last week, right? Last week was one of the, I don't want to say one of the most, but it was an emotionally hard week for me. However, I still showed up and did what I had to do. So much so where as though the end of the week, I think Friday, it just got worse. It was harder. And I just didn't feel it. I ain't feel it. Like I ain't feel it.
Can I ask you why? Like what was the background, if you don't mind?
I don't know. I think it just was just, I don't know. It was just, emotions was just.
Jay called me and was like, man,
I feel like I'm on my motherfucking period.
I'm on my period right now. Like,
I'm emotional as fuck. Like, so Friday, that's when I got into the little back and forth with my child's mom. And I just was like, man, I'm just mentally exhausted. Stay home. I wanted to do things. I didn't even run. But I was like, you know what? Cool. But I got some work done. Work that I should have got done. Some editing. And I'm like, I'm cool. So through all of that, I was able to stay home and get some work done because when I don't have my daughter, I'm trying to find things to do, right? Because I'm like, I'm finally free, right? This time I didn't have my daughter and I stayed home and worked. And I'm like, as frustrated as I was, this might have been the purpose for all of this, was for me to stay home and get this work done because I've been needed to get this done.
You notice how, and I just got to point this out because I got to give you your flowers. You notice how your habits match your purpose? Mm-hmm. When you start to do that, that's when you know you're in a different season of your life. Like, I was supposed to, enjoy I keep planning to go out of town and just get my feet in the sand and just, that be my thing. But, man, listen, I went to the pool yesterday. I vibed out to some music. Just ate what I wanted to eat. I ain't even eating nothing but some Popeyes, y'all. Somebody would have their opinion about that, but hell, it just made me feel good, Man, when I got done with the day, I just rested, after the pool, and I just woke up today feeling refreshed. Like, even to the point to where, I don't get very many days where I get to sleep in and just, enjoy and become. The beauty of it is I could be right at home and find peace. That's a different season for me.
That's fire.
That's a different season for me where, my recharge is literally, the furthest I went was to the pool. Everything else got delivered to me. I had a little bottle was already in the fridge, ice cold, ready to go. And, I just vibed. I didn't have to do too much. It was just a reset. And when I got done with it today, I'm perfect time. And, it's a perfect time for me to come on this podcast. I'm not carrying nothing.
And that's when we talk about practicalities. Just really just... I guess the easy way is don't let anything stop you.
Yeah.
You can feel the emotions, embrace them, but don't let it stop what's going on. Right? So if you got to go to work, if you can, go to work. But also, if you need a day off, take a day off.
Yeah.
Right? Don't allow it to stop you. Don't allow any decision that you make, any feeling that you feel to stop the process. So because you take a day off, you need to understand that this doesn't stop anything. I'm still going to go to work tomorrow, and I'm not going to allow the feelings of yesterday to hold me hostage of today. You get what I'm saying? So, I think the practicality of it is really just don't allow anything to stop you, because the moment it stops you, that's the moment the devil wins. We talk about that, right? That's the moment when you lose. You can't lose if you keep going. It's been so many times, and I guess to put this in terms of, creatives, right? So many creatives in the world. There's been so many times where I've had spells of the numbers not hitting. But to the masses, it's they almost can't see that. Why? Because they think I go viral all the time. They don't know about the in-betweens when I'm stressed the hell out, right? But guess what? If I stop, then I wouldn't see another viral moment, right? So, and I put it like that. It's really just keep going, because nobody remembers a loser. Nobody remember what you didn't do. They only remember what you did. So as long as you continue to put that work in, your work is going to show. Just don't stop. The moment you stop, the moment you lose.
And that, I'm glad that she's brought that point up, because to give a little more insight to last week for you, when we had that first conversation, even before he said how he felt, he was like, bro, I already know I'm going to be over this. It's so you went in with the intentionality of knowing that this is a moment, this is a season. And I think this is where you said practicality is just you gave yourself the opportunity to feel it. And I think a lot of times when we go into these seasons, we get numb. We go in with numbness. You know what I'm saying? And
or we try to run away from it.
Or try to run away from it. You know what I'm saying? Where
that
it's
ain't what's going on.
Exactly. Or you're deflecting it or things of that nature. But the fact that you allowed yourself to be nah, I'm in my feelings. I mean, you're just bro, I don't even know why I feel this way. I shouldn't even feel like this. What's going on? But the fact that you are allowing yourself to feel but having that conversation with yourself to recognize okay, you're not suppressing it. Because a lot of times we suppress it and it's just okay. And going back to the overall conversation of why people don't understand and things of that nature, we'll suppress it. It's okay, they don't get it, whatever, this, that, and the third. But no, what if it's it does bother me right now, but I can accept that they don't understand it. A lot of times it's just man, fuck these people, this, that, and the third. We just throw them off to the side. And it's no, that shit hurts you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Not being understood for that moment might have hurt you. But then as you continue to go through the pains and the understanding of why does it hurt me? Prime example, sorry. When I went to DR, I told you that was the defining moment that changed my whole life. Because that was the first time they didn't get it. You know what I'm saying? They didn't understand what I was going through. And I'm in a situation where I had to fly into the country to go get my parents. I'm exhausted. I'm burnt out. And I'm just bro, I'm about to miss my flight. Y'all, can y'all just help can y'all help me out? And they just were just looking at us. They just didn't care. And then when my mom started crying, I just remember feeling so angry. Because I was like, man, bro, like, I remember saying it. Call my best friend and everything. And I was like, I told you this. I was like, bro, if they hate me now, they gonna really hate me when I turn up. This, that, and the third. And I'm like, in that moment, about to prove to them. I'm proving to them, like, all right, but I'm somebody. Right? And God quickened me. And I told you about this.
Yeah.
I remember I was just sitting there and just heard that voice of God talk to me. It was like, why do you care? It's just like, why do you care? And I told you that was the turning point for me, where it was like, bro, I was doing it for the approval. Like, I was doing it for the validation, because it's like, man, here are somebody that they don't know me from a cat. When I leave there, they're going to go back to their lives, just like I'm going to go back to my lives. But that one interaction, I was going to let emotionally charge me to become a villain. Like, I literally tweeted out, I was like, villains are not born, they're created. And like, I was just going in that mindset with anger, and I was going to let that one situation cloud the fact that everything that needed to happen happened. My parents are home, they're safe, we got them.
Why are you still sitting in it?
Why am I so angry about this one interaction? And that's often what happens, is just like, if you don't give yourself the opportunity to sit and feel the emotions in that moment and you suppress it, it's like, it's going to keep reoccurring.
Facts.
And that validation, that need for the validation, just continues to show up over time.
Do you feel like, as men, that we're entering into a society that is more accepting of the fact that men need to decompress too, and that they may be carrying loads that they're not comfortable to share? Do you guys feel like over time that you're entering into spaces to where you guys are more supported and able to have those conversations, or where do you feel like the work should be done, if not?
Jay has a great saying. Safe spaces aren't found, they're created. And he said that a while ago. And when he said it, he was like, we need to do a better job of creating those safe spaces. So like, the reason why this podcast is called 1% Better is because we realize that we are two flawed men trying to live a better experience in life.
Yeah. Well,
you know,
listen to what you said though, and I'm gonna let you finish, because that's the perfect way of putting it. And I wouldn't have said it no better. We're two flawed men looking for like place to get better, right? It's not the fact that because people hear like, and we trying to be better every day. Yeah, we are, but we have, in order to get better every day, you got to understand that you're not perfect. You're flawed. So when you set them like, bro, it's the perfect way to put it. But I ain't mean to cut you off.
No, yeah. So like, that's the whole thing. And when you talk about being accepted, we have to, like you said, we have to accept ourselves. We as men have to be in this place, and that's why we have this conversation. Like, respectfully, we be like, bro, we don't be talking to women, we be talking to men. Why? Because we understand that a world of broken men can lead to chaos, and we see the consequences of it. You have a lot of broken men that are in positions of leadership that are making decisions based on their brokenness, and now it's a domino effect. So now, but the problem is, a lot of those men feel like they're whole. Now, that's a scary place to be when you think that you're whole and you're making decisions and you move in the corner. It's like, man.
It's the ego, though, because it's twofold. There's two sides to that thought, right? Because a lot of it, you got to look at, like, what is this a result of? This is a result of, and I'm comfortable enough to say, a lot of women being put in the capacity to operate in more masculine spaces and losing the continuity with the way that they approach men. Like, it's like, I got to approach you as being hard instead of being a soft place. And so when I'm already under the impression that you're flawed, instead of just being like, we're all flawed, and you may require different things, it put us at war with each other versus it being a supportive measure. So while I'm glad that you as men can be in the capacity of supporting each other, it's still something about a woman's touch that does something for a man. And I would like to see the next time that I ask you that question, it be like, I'm around women who are doing that for me as well. Not saying that the man is bad, but I hope and pray for that for both of you, because I think it's so, like, me as a woman, I find that having conversation, that's why y'all see me smiling, laughing the whole time. It's like having a conversation with men who get it, it's so refreshing. It's like it's nothing that has to be taught. It's just in you. You're operating in your light, in your space. You're confident and you're prepared to lead. Like, even me as being a person who has to facilitate a lot of things on my own, I have to consciously work on, like, hey, keep that balance, though. Like you said, don't be afraid to go for things and just keep moving past them. But at the same time, don't carry so much that you're not dealing with what's inside. I had this saying where it'd be like, you got to empty your luggage before you enter into the next house. Because if you carrying baggage, you don't have room for nothing that's in there. And so for me, I'm learning like, okay, let me empty it. Let me work through my suitcase and unpack it. If you know after a trip, that's probably one of the hardest things to do.
Yeah. I still
is
got
unpack your baggage. Listen, but I do
good.
the same thing. So like yesterday, part of my day was, okay, I got a suitcase that I need to unpack. Let me just unpack it at least. You know, even if I just lay a few things out that still got to be put up, let me just take it out the bag first. Let me acknowledge it. And so I think being in a space to where you're doing that as a woman, and you're doing that as a man, we can have better conversations like this. Because it is so necessary. Like, I love that y'all have that brotherhood, but it's nothing like a woman's touch.
I want to ask you something.
Go ahead.
Because I look at things like
That's good.
in so many spaces, right?
Yeah.
And as a compliment, as much of a compliment it is to hear you say, being around men who get it is so refreshing.
Yeah.
Like, as dope as that is, it's scary as well, because I talk about men being on this pedestal almost for some women.
Yeah.
And it's almost hard to repair that once you see me as human, right? And I'm wondering, like, how do you avoid putting men like that get it so high up that when they do something that might look like they don't get it, that you don't look at them differently?
The beautiful thing about it is when you are in the capacity of someone like that, you understand that it's a safe space to talk and have a conversation. I think a lot of times us as women, and I had to acknowledge this, like, we just expect to be shown it when you're with a man who leads, but understanding his humanity is realizing that he's going to have moments where he needs to be reassured as well and validated. And so part of me is validating your humanity. Like, I'm going to approach you with the conversation versus waiting for you to lead me into one. And I think, too, part of approaching that conversation is, like, not harboring anything as though, like, it's because I'm a woman, I feel. Understanding that I'm going to put that to the side. What I just say, I'm going to take it out the bag. But I'm not going to unpack it fully yet because I might have this notion in my head that you mean something that you don't by it. So giving you the opportunity to have a conversation is where you're going to grow from, you know? Because now I know, like, twofold. You know that I'm looking at it a certain way. So you might move a little different to appease that. But also, too, I know that just because I think that this is what you mean by it, a simple conversation can fix that. So I think you understand, like me, I'm a woman who I experienced that on the opposite side of things. Like people, I know even with my first baby dad, like he had assumed because I had done so much with my siblings that like motherhood would come easy to me. And he told me this. And what I had to explain is like being somebody's older sister who operates as, you know, like a higher level of support, it doesn't come with understanding on how to actually birth something and help grow something that came out of you. Like, it feels different, you know? Like, I may do similar things, but my attachment is different. And so understanding that, it's like you got to understand, like, everybody isn't always what they present themselves to be. Some people are very good on making it look good so much that you would never know that it need to be oiled up and greased up a little bit, you know?
That's a fact. That's crazy. What do you think? Speaking of motherhood, we had a conversation, right?
I was just about to go there. We really be like,
we had a conversation.
Yeah.
And since you're here, we try not to like have conversations carry on, but since you're here, right? Yeah. See a few women saying, "Why would they have this conversation without a woman present?" Your mother. Do you find yourself getting lost in motherhood, like that being your identity?
That's deep right there. Yeah.
And how do you navigate in that space?
Doing things for myself, like self-care. Like I was just telling you, like I love that my daughter does that. Because it's like taking care of yourself is where you can unpack the shit that you may be holding back. Excuse me if I'm not supposed to cuss.
No,
but
you
can go in there and be like, you know, like it's not everybody else. Get out of that whole habit of like the mind game. Because sometimes like I love my kids with everything in me. Sometimes I just need a moment where I can just do everything I want to do for myself. You know, and that's a lot of my recharge.
How do you find that space? How do you create that space? Not find it. How do you create that space for yourself?
Man, just knowing what you need, knowing yourself well enough to know what you need. Like when I start feeling myself get very overwhelmed, I make it mandatory. Even if my kids are around, like we'll go to the pool, we'll go outside to the park, we'll go take a walk around the neighborhood, whatever it is. Like a lot of my peace comes in grounding myself, like just not completely decompressing from this has to be done here and constantly thinking about my structure, but just like letting myself flow. And I think that's created a healthy balance for me. So I don't want motherhood to turn frustrating. I don't want to be upset by it because I love it. it's such a defining factor about how great of a woman that I am becoming, And I think one day it'll make me an even better wife. And so I don't want to attach any negativity or frustration to it. Like, I find myself in conversations with both of my children's fathers where it'd be like, I got to show you something, going back to what you said. And it's like, it comes from coupled with, I'm carrying most of the burden. But I'm also in a space to where it is like, I don't want to have to continually remind you of that. I also don't want to have conflict because I'm not a conflictual person. I like to stay laid back. But when someone isn't invested in your household, a lot of times it's hard for them to see your perspective. And so the struggle with co-parenting is finding a common ground, is being your child. And it's like, this ain't about you. It's not about what you do or don't do, but what is the most beneficial for my child. And that's why I don't go long periods with holding on to them type of conversations no more. I know how to make peace with it quicker, but a lot of times it takes going into that safe space like you're talking about, like, and being at a place where I'm like, you know what, let me just recharge myself so I can think clearly. I'm not moving out of emotion. I'm not carrying no frustration. I'm not drowning in motherhood. Like, I don't feel like it's a burden. Because when you get to go back and forth with your co-parent, it's easy to see it. It's like, man, I do this, I do that, I do this. You don't see me. But it's like, I'll be having to go back to this is why we're together. And that's okay. You didn't see me.
Damn, so we had a conversation. This conversation came from a space. We were talking about moving forward, right? And I was telling my friend that the next person I'm with, I want that person to have their own thing going on outside of motherhood if they're a mother and outside of being a wife, because I feel like in those moments, if you're just fully immersed in being a mother and a wife, it's easy to look at me about what I'm doing and my passion and my purpose and get jealous of that. Because it's like sometimes you would look at it like, well, what about me? All I'm doing is supporting you. I'm supporting our children, but what about me? And I was telling my friend, I'm like, I want somebody who already knows their purpose or even knows what they're like so I can support that so they don't look at what I'm doing and be angry at that. Okay. And that's how we got into the conversation of like, I feel I empathize with mothers who get lost in motherhood because I'm somebody who not going to get lost in fatherhood because I know my purpose. And I'm going to always be a good dad. I'm always be there to show up for my daughter. But I also understand that if I don't show up, if I don't show up for myself and my purpose, I can't even be the best dad to my daughter. Yes. So I want to be with somebody who understands their purpose. Or again, I don't want to say purpose because I know it takes time to find your purpose, but understand what they love and what they're into, so they can take care of that, and I can, I guess, help drive that as well, so it doesn't look like conflict between us. Because now you're just mad at what I'm doing, I guess.
I'm glad that you mentioned that last part because I was gonna add that in as an additive. Like, for me personally, I resonate with that heavy. Like, that's something that I haven't had in previous situations as much, to where it's like you support what I do outside of you the same way you support me as a mother or as a partner who's supporting you in your dreams. Like, support me in that side hustle, that I have outside, and because that might be where my purpose really is. Like, I might be good over here in these arenas, but like, support that, because ultimately, like you said, same way for you, it's like your purpose is going to make you better for your children, just the same way as it'll make you better for your partner, exactly. The people, the rooms that you enter, the people that you impact. Like, so being supported in your purpose is a key, essential component to having a healthy relationship, especially when you're doing things of a certain caliber. Like, we can both be great, but let's be great in every arena. Mm-hmm. You as my partner, you as a father, me as a mother, you know what I mean? And then also, too, like, me as the creative that I am. Whatever it is outside of these four walls, you know what I'm saying?
That's a fact, 100%.
Do you feel like motherhood is a purpose? Like,
it's a part of your purpose. Like you said, like, going back to what you said, it was like your purpose is who you are, not what you do. And so motherhood is something that I do that's a part of who I am, And so I don't want to let me being a mom be my defining factor. My motherhood is definitely significantly important to the way that I care and emit love, which makes Big Energy what it is, It's something behind that. It's something to it, Mm-hmm. But it's not a defining part of, like, this is my purpose. It's just to be somebody's mom.
Damn.
That was good, because I think it was a clip, obviously, so people take it out of context and things of that nature. But what our friend was saying last week was just, like, his next relationship, the woman that he is with, he wants them to love motherhood. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, to love motherhood so that and he kind of compared it to like podcasting. It's like we love podcasting, and we could do it 6 hours a day. Yeah. And even if we do it for 6 hours, it's like we might get tired. You might need breaks from time to time, but
it don't feel like it though.
It don't feel like work, right? Yeah. Where it's just like when you have somebody that, what he was saying was like when you have somebody that doesn't love motherhood, it may feel like it's correct me if I'm it feels like it's a job, you know what I'm saying, and it's draining. So we just wanted to clarify that because again, a lot of people did reach out and just like, you should have a woman to talk about that. So you offered a very unique perspective because one thing that you did say specifically is that like I love motherhood. Yeah. I don't want it to become a burden.
Yeah. One thing that I didn't think about when he said it then, I thought it was a great point, but still, one thing that I didn't think about was we choose this thing. Yeah. You don't choose to be a mother. Well, I guess you do, but like
in certain situations, it feel like motherhood kind of chooses you, and in different ways. Because like some people don't have kids, but they're still a mother or they're still a father, So it chooses you in different ways. So that's why I said it's something that I'm very good at, And I think trying to make it my purpose kind of made me stray away from actually doing it well because I was so much pressure. Like I definitely have become a better mother having both my children now. Like, adhering to their needs and the differences in them has made me humble myself in a lot of ways. I enjoy it, though. Like I said, I don't want it to become a burden. So that's why even going back and forth with a co-parent, if you do that too frequently, it will become a burden. And then it'll feel like you're drowning. And then you're going to have pent-up aggression and animosity towards it, Sometimes you don't mean for it to come out on your kids, but I've seen it in various different situations, where it's like, and then kids on the brunt end, you hear them later talk about it, and they're like, man, you hated me so much. But it's like, so I'm very cognizant of that. Like, I don't want my kids to ever have that experience. And so I'd rather just check myself. Like, you know what? This is part of what I do. I'm very good at it. Doing that has helped even, the back and forth sometimes can go into talking about the thing that's most important to you. So, oh, yeah, you don't do this or you don't do that. It don't even be no sweat off my back because it's like, look at the material. My kids are excellent. They excellent individuals. They're doing big things. I'm proud of both of them. And individually, they're going to bring so much to the world. I'm confident in that. So it's like, what more else do I have to prove? Like, it's right there.
We often have this conversation about, like, accountability. And a lot of times we feel frustrated as men sometimes because, in the masses, it's like women don't take accountability. But, something that you said it like 4 or 5 times in this conversation. It's like I had to humble myself. Yeah. And I just wanted to ask you, like, what was that? Were you always like this, or was it like a turning point in your mind where it was like, all right, nah, I need to humble myself for the greater good or things of that nature? Because I feel like there's a disconnect, and you have a lot of conversations of men saying like women need to take accountability, but here you have somebody. And again, I don't know what you are day to day. You could be saying anything on this podcast, but I'm gonna take it at face value and everything that you're saying. It. And you're taking accountability in understanding, like, all right, no, I needed to humble myself. Sure. So, like, what was that turning point for you?
Accepting that I don't have control of things, being willing to acknowledge, like, I'm human, people are human, and so, like, it's moments where I feel like I want to nut up. Would it be like? The result of that is not something that as a person really fulfills me. So I'd rather just be humble. So to answer your question, like, I've watched in so many situations, my mom in particular, she is like one of the most beautiful people that I know. Like, in essence, everything about her, the place that she comes from, like, and it's crazy because when she watched this and she sees this, she always said, I'll never talk about her on a podcast. But we're in a different place now, and I'm grateful for it because my mom doesn't know how beautiful she is, and that's why some of her course of actions have been what it is. But the one thing that I learned about her is that when she stopped responding in a certain manner and she just, like, went away in peace and let things be what they are, it taught me so much how valuable it is because she, like, emits her light different now. And so in observation of that, I'm like, okay, that's what I want to give to my daughter. I want to give, like, I used to always tell my mom, like, Mom, just let that go, just let that go. When she started letting stuff go, bro, like, she just became different. Like, so we're different now. So I know from her experience, that's why they always say you should learn from your parents. Like, you might not always learn the blueprint of exactly how to do it, but you can kind of get a glimpse of what certain things look like, what the result of certain things are. Not saying that she didn't do well with what she was dealt, because that gave me perspective too. Is it's like, if I create a different structure, I can have a different result. And so now, as me and her have conversations, I have to tell her all the time, like, you're one of my biggest influences. Like, it may not be what you think it is because you're in self-doubt, but, like, you're doing a great job. Like, look at the material.
Look at the material. That's fire. Nah, man, I think this is definitely a great conversation. I do want to move on towards the, we got to get
to the
shits.
Yeah.
Terrible takes and things like that. But I think that was definitely a great conversation. I want to say we should have more of these conversations, but we have a lot of these conversations. I think the world should have more of those conversations.
I think we're about to get to the shits, but I think like the core of it all matters though. And I think that's a point that if everybody could get to a place where they understand that like everybody's not going to understand you, and that's okay, we'll be in a much better place. And I think that a lot of times we're fighting a battle that doesn't need to be won. Like, you're fighting a battle that doesn't need to be won. You're just literally exhausting your energy for something that or I'll flip it actually. You're fighting a battle that's already won because if you're already validated within yourself, then you've already won. So I think that's also what I think a lot of people, if we get to that place of understanding, we'll be in a much better place.
I love it.
But let's get to the shits, man. So
let's have some fun, man. What's going on in the world, man?
It was a crazy week. I'm gonna start off with a light. It's not a trending take. It's a terrible take, but it's not a trending take.
Is it a question?
It's a question.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna start off with this one.
Go ahead.
All right, man. It's the concert for the ages, and one of these names, I'm gonna say the name off of talent. We were separating the art from the artist. Disclaimer.
Heard.
Okay.
Can we do that in today's age? I can, but whatever.
I can.
Well, I'm gonna say it anyways. I'm gonna say it anyways. Chris Brown, R. Kelly, and Usher are having a concert. Who's opening, who's closing, and who's a mid-show? I'm gonna say it again. Chris Brown, R. Kelly, and Usher are having a concert. Who's opening, who's closing, and who's the middle performance? Not all at once.
The opener is definitely Chris Brown.
I'm gonna go with Usher. I'm gonna go with Usher being the opener. So we having conversations of who's the best performer in the world. It's two people that's in that conversation. Who's the two?
Michael Jackson.
And who?
Usher.
No.
Debatable.
Is Michael Jackson who? Who is that? Everybody's debating these two. Michael Jackson, Chris Brown. Right? So this is the conversation that we're having.
Okay.
So we're talking about a concert, right? So I had to start tickets because at first I'm like, Chris Brown definitely got to open.
He does,
but that's what I'm thinking. But then I think about it, and I'm like, no. Because if we want to build up, right? I'm thinking we should go Usher open, Chris Brown middle, R. Kelly close. Your drink is right there.
Oh, the lick. Oh, it's the crush.
Oh, yes.
Right there.
Oh, it's right here. My bad. We wasted all of it. So, that's what I say.
All right. So let me tell you why Chris Brown is great for our generation.
Right.
For our generation.
So, okay, keep going.
All right. But if you talk about Usher.
Pour me up another glass, man.
Look, he's like, all right, we about to get into the shit. Usher has the 90s, the 80s. You have 80s babies. You have 90s babies. You have 2000 babies. And you might have 2010 babies that's still rocking with Usher. Chris Brown.
2000s.
That's
2010s.
And that's it.
Okay.
So if you talk about like a concert for generations where people will be able to vibe with the person the entire time, I'm going to go Chris.
A concert isn't just performing songs.
But we know what we going to get with Usher. Usher going to be on them damn skate. Look, come on, bro.
So Usher, yeah, his
come on, bro.
Super Bowl show was probably one of the best shows I've seen.
And we've seen the residency. We've seen the clips from the residency too.
But I'm saying, I guess.
Definitely being his vibe.
Yeah. Of course, originally I'm saying Chris Brown. I want to switch it up. I'm going to say Chris Brown goes in the middle because I feel like Usher and R. Kelly isn't too far off of the ages. So why not put the youngest in the middle? And think about it. You open the show with a banger. You close the show with a banger. In the middle, You have something that's going to keep the show going.
Okay, so you going from like all right, you're not going from a talent standpoint.
No, I'm going from a show standpoint.
Like a producing a good quality show. Okay.
I like that for the show because he's kind of like a middle between like performance wise. Like he's got the timelessness of R. Kelly, I feel like, but he's got the show of Usher. You know, like they're very similar in that way.
Usher going to put on a great show. I know for sure.
Have you ever seen Chris Brown in concert?
I haven't.
Yeah,
Now, let me tell you something.
he is different though.
That nigga different though. He
That's
cold.
why I say the middle would be cool though.
But Usher, bro, that Super Bowl.
Yeah, that Super Bowl was crazy. So, but hold on. All right, hold up. I want to add something to this. You can't bring nobody else with you. It's just you.
I feel like
I still think Usher gonna carry, bro.
I still feel like it's the same.
If that's the case, then I'm knocking R. Kelly down.
no,
Fuck no, you bugging.
I'm knocking R. Kelly down.
Hell no.
Stop disrespecting.
He don't need nobody else. He is everybody else, to be honest. If you want to be
He got
technical.
hella. Well,
let
yeah,
me
he
tell
wrote it.
I went to an R. Kelly show before my boy went, you know.
say, wait,
and
what, huh?
we separate. No, I went to an R. Kelly show, though. Check this out. I'm telling you, I didn't even know. It was at Wolf Creek, I think, amphitheater, so you know how that is. I didn't even know we was right next to the stage. When I tell you, like, grown men, it's like, yeah, that's that nigga. If he come and he gets my woman, I'm comfortable with it.
That's crazy.
Like, that's a different type of pressure,
Yeah,
though.
that's just down. That was
That's
down
different.
south.
Yeah.
Them niggas just different.
They
Because I ain't
built
never
different.
say no shit like that. I don't give a fuck if you was Jesus Christ.
But listen,
I'm sorry.
if that band hit the 12 play, y'all, I'm talking about, I was like, oh, okay, I see what was going on, but we going to digress from that. But, yeah, R. Kelly is different, too, though. He a different type of show, though. He's a show that going to last for
So
the
y'all
ages.
saying, both of y'all saying Chris Brown, Usher, then R. Kelly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not mad at that.
I feel like it's a build-up, too. Like I was saying, like, it goes from, you know, the newest age to the older kind of generation, so you can see, like, where it was coming from and kind of also where it's going.
Yeah, I ain't mad at that. I'm not mad at that. I think R. Kelly definitely closes the show.
I think so, too.
Yeah. I mean, I
We
agree.
agreed on that.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
But nah, it was an interesting conversation. There was a lot of
Do you
versus
think-
conversations yesterday.
I'm about to say, do you think R. Kelly can go in the verses with anybody?
Everybody but Michael Jackson.
He would smoke Michael Jackson.
You're crazy.
He would smoke Michael Jackson,
You're
not
crazy.
even close.
You're crazy.
I got to plead the fifth. I don't know.
You're crazy.
Boy, Usher probably can do 20 songs with Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson hits. My nigga, do you know that when Michael Jackson used to pop, this nigga clip her, man. This nigga clip her, man.
No.
Nah,
Now you know
clip
who I
her.
think. You know who I think can go 20 songs with R. Kelly?
Oh.
Mary J. Blige.
No, you're biased. Nigga,
I
no.
am.
No.
Mary J. Blige,
She got
she got hits.
I said
Dang.
Beyonce.
What people?
You talking about woman Beyonce?
I don't want to see Beyonce versus R. Kelly.
I really don't either.
I don't wanna fight.
I don't feel like it would be the same.
Yeah, I don't
You
think.
gotta
it's-
stick to like the.
Yeah,
Nice.
I would see Beyonce and Chris Brown for sure.
Yeah.
I would see Beyonce and Rihanna, but I don't want to see Beyonce and R. Kelly. But what I will say is, what you gotta understand when we talk about verses, I'm not saying that R. Kelly don't have 100 songs. I'm not saying that
Talking
Michael
20
Jackson.
hits.
Yeah, that's how I see. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying we gotta put 20 versus 20.
20 of your greatest hits.
20 of your greatest hits. I think Mary J. Blige is in the conversation. 20. That's it. 20. Mary J.
That's tough. I don't know. I gotta look at her discography and
Mary
think about
J.
that.
Usher and R. Kelly.
You think she's giving both of them a run?
Yes.
Mary J is different.
She cold.
Mary J.
Dang,
Blige,
I'm
bro.
going down.
Like, it's so many songs that she can do.
He's a Mary J. Blige.
I am a Mary J.
He's a stand. He's not a stand, right?
I ain't gonna lie, my pops too. He down with the Mary J.
Nah, a lot of people love Mary J. Man.
Yeah, she
That's different.
Or, this might throw niggas off. P. Diddy and R. Kelly.
He don't really got songs though. You
Well, he
talking
got
about things
songs that he
written?
put together, right?
They got similar.
don't they-
I wouldn't put
don't they-
him.
Don't they call that like because verses started with producers, right?
That's the ultimate free call. That's the only thing that I.
You horny bastard. That's a crazy. Never mind. Yeah, never mind.
Look, I said I'm over here like they got similar situations.
Together.
I don't even want to see them together. Like
they can't be in a room together.
I'm
this
dead.
is baby oil and piss. It's a slippery situation.
This shit is crazy.
It's a slippery slope for real.
No doubt. Yeah, we might gotta rethink that.
Yeah, I thought about that. I was like,
yeah, we might gotta rethink
no.
that.
So jokes aside, I would love to see Diddy and Jermaine Dupri.
No, okay.
Nah, what?
JD Cole.
Yeah, you keep playing. That's because
I
we
would
from
want
up
to
north.
see. No, I would want to see Diddy and Khaled.
No, huh?
Khaled put together some hits.
No,
bro.
Kelly definitely.
Nobody wants to see that.
Khaled put together some hits.
Don't want to see that shit,
Bro.
Matter of fact, make this a clip. Nobody wants to see that shit. That's only you. Diddy and DJ Khaled.
Khaled got some hits, bro.
So you rather see Diddy versus Khaled and
Over
not Diddy versus Jermaine Dupri?
What
Not
about
over.
Diddy versus Jay-Z?
Nah, Diddy versus Jermaine Dupri.
Jay-Z's smoking.
Like niggas up north.
Smoking.
I mean, I don't know about that.
he's
I
You
don't
talking
know.
about putting things together?
Hey,
Come on, bro.
just saying. Let's think twice about that.
We got to think about the location of the show too.
Let's think twice about P. Diddy and,
So where is the show taking place at?
Jay-Z is smoking this nigga. Come on,
P.
bro.
Diddy is tied to some of the biggest artists. Biggie Smalls. That's it right there.
Yeah, that's all you really.
That's it. Biggie Smalls, Mary J. Blige, 3LW. I think like he has so many. Well, that was Jermaine Dupri.
You ever smoke a backwood or a Dutch?
No,
Oh, okay. Let me tell you the process. You gut it, you roll it up, and you smoke it. That's what Jay-Z gonna do. It's over with, bro. No. If you're talking about acts, Rihanna.
no, he didn't.
He
He put them
did.
on. He didn't make the songs though. I'm saying producing the songs,
Bro,
putting the songs together. Like Jermaine Dupri wrote a lot of these songs.
Okay.
We talk about Jermaine Dupri. You think about Bow Wow. You think about you think about what's it? He got TLC. I think.
Okay.
Like, bro, you talking about legends. You talking about some like Jay-Z himself is good.
Yeah.
And yeah, his cap is good. Like Kanye West, Rihanna, but I don't think he produced those songs. Is what I'm saying.
yeah, some. Oh, well, no, he's not a producer.
That's what
So,
I'm saying. You only can play a song if you produced it. If you have like some credit in it.
Yeah, you know what I didn't know? Fun fact: I didn't know that Diddy produced one of Burna Boy's albums. I never knew that.
For real?
Yeah, he executive
I
produced
didn't
one
know
of
that
his
either.
albums. It's his worst
He was
album.
on one of the songs.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I did not know that.
On to
don't
the
know.
next, man. What's going on, man?
a lot. All right, man. So your boy Drake had a conversation with T-Pain. I mean, had a back and forth with T-Pain over a comment that he did on another podcast. You sent me the clip, I think.
You
so
want to play it?
Let me play this.
The people are crazy.
Did you send it to? Yeah, he's been going at it with everybody. First, he was going at it with the politician. Is that what that is? Let me see. All right.
I think the one thing I learned from Drake, and here's the crazy thing, one thing I learned from Drake, but one thing he hasn't followed his own words. Drake said, I want to be one of the people that gracefully bow out and not get kicked out. I have ever since said, thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all when I drop. Don't worry about it. I'll just drop something. Let me know if you heard it. Yeah. Drake is like, no, listen. Okay, I got another one. Oh, check this out. Check this out. Y'all didn't like that one? Okay, real quick. Just one more. Let me try one more. And then he's the person that he said, he didn't want to be. And I learned that from him. Like when he said that, I want to gracefully bow out and not get kicked out. I was like, you know what? I'm out this bitch.
This is live shows now.
I'm out this motherfucker. I'm not trying to impress y'all niggas. Y'all niggas don't give a fuck about live or die.
Yeah.
Why the fuck would I keep trying to impress y'all niggas? I'm out. I'm done. I did everything that I was trying to do. I changed the game. I made a sound. What else?
You literally can't. It's only even if you make a hit today.
It won't even. It's just normal.
Yes.
It's just normal. It's like, yeah, that's okay.
Well, shit.
Cool song.
To which Drake responded, and essentially said that he's always shown that T-Pain has always had some resentment towards him, and he showed it over some years.
I didn't hear resentment from that though. It sounded like he was just saying that, like, I guess people are trying to push Drake to the side, and he just won't quit. But what I will say is, in Drake's defense though, I feel like T-Pain was always trying to get some sort of credit that he deserved that he never got. And which is rightfully so, because T-Pain is super creative. Like, he's super talented. And I feel like when Jay-Z came out, it kind of like pushed him to the side with the depth of autotune. And a lot of people were saying, like, you know, like, this is ruining hip hop. So like it could be easier for him to say, you know what? I'm not even about to fight this. Y'all got it. Whereas though you look at Drake, that's a totally different case with Drake. Drake has been on top for a decade plus, right? So like, yeah, you got people coming at Drake, but Drake still has hits. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when you say gracefully bow out, gracefully where? Like, it ain't like he lost a step.
I don't think Drake was in a position to bow out in that situation. Like, if he's talking about the beef, I don't think he had that. Like, I mean, he could have took the J. Cole route. You know what I mean? I guess if you're talking about gracefully bow out, it's the J. Cole route.
Oh no, he couldn't have taken the J. Cole route.
But he could. He as Drake.
Yeah, he couldn't have, because he was the antagonist. He was the antagonist though. So imagine antagonizing a situation. They'd be like, "Well, I'm out. Peace."
Right. That's why I was like, you can't.
Like, J. Cole really like was just
in the middle
popping
of
shit. You know what I'm saying?
Well, would you say he's the antagonist
Who, Drake?
in that whole Kendrick situation?
Nigga, hell yeah.
How?
Drake was posting shit like, "What you doing?" Like, he made the whole AI song. Like, Drake was dragging it. He
But
asked for not like us.
though. But from the beginning,
I don't know about the beginning, but what I'm saying, after Kendrick Lamar dropped the verse,
yes,
Drake dropped his response, and then he dropped another one. Then he was like, "What you was taking him so long?" He dropped the AI song. He was what? He was antagonizing him on Instagram. He asked for not like us, bro. He asked for that shit. So, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. He couldn't have bowed out. No. But what I will say is, I can't say now, but I just don't want to hear nothing else about it. Like, keep making your songs like Nokia. Keep making your hits. You know what I'm saying? Because you make hits. I don't care to hear you talk about Kendrick Lamar ever again. Now, when we talk about gracefully bowing out, if that's the case, yeah, leave that alone.
just take that ass whooping
Take
and go
that
home.
L on the chin. You know what, bro? If you want to mention it, if anything, what would be Woody? And they kick my ass out. You know what I'm saying? Say some shit about that. I don't want to hear you say nothing about nothing else. Say some shit about, yeah, I took an L. And you know what I'm saying? I'm like, cool. At least he respected.
That nigga would not say that, bro.
Yeah, of course not.
Hell no.
Outside of that, when you say bow out, like, yo, I understand what T-Pain's saying. I don't take it as resentment at all. I don't take it as hate at all. But to his point, I don't think that's a fair comparison, because Drake and T-Pain at their peak, nowhere near close.
So when you say gracefully bow out, and I guess I need some more context, right? But she's talking about like retirement, though, where it's like you should just go out, ride out on the sunset, go out on your high horse.
That's what he's saying. He's like, well, not retirement, because he did say, I'll make a song, and then if you hear, you hear. If not, you don't. I don't think Drake is doing I think Drake not doing nothing crazy. He's dropping his music. He dropped some shit with Party Next Door. It's so happened to be good. No Kid came from it. It's a hit. They playing it everywhere. And I don't think he was like overly dragging it or anything. So it's just, I guess it looks different for T-Pain. Again, I don't know, but I know like if T-Pain drops some songs right now, nobody's checking for him. But Drake, if he drops some songs that don't say anything, everybody's still checking for him. So who knows? He could have gracefully bowed out. He could have just played the background.
He might just be doing it for sport at this point.
Yeah, and the thing is, what's hard to see from T-Pain's point of view is T-Pain has never reached that height of artistry. So he said it in the clip. If I drop something, he's like, yo, I'll just drop something. If y'all see it, y'all see it. If not, y'all don't. Drake doesn't have that luxury. If Drake drops something, we all see it.
Yeah. It's
so,
like Kanye.
Yeah, but I understand what he's trying to say. But Drake isn't in that space. You say that to somebody like, I don't know, Bow Wow or something. Like, I don't know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if Bow Wow drops something, I don't know, I'm just saying, like, we probably ain't checking. He got this hot song right now. You know what I'm saying? But with Chris Brown, shout out to that. That's a hit. But it's like, Drake doesn't have the luxury. Yeah, it's fire. Drake doesn't have the luxury of just dropping something and nobody hears from it. And like, okay, we hear, like, what, he's not supposed to promote it? Like, no, you can drop something and promote it and we still wouldn't hear it. So, but I don't think it's hate. I get what he's saying. It's just, you talking about Drake, bro. Like, what he say? I sold more rap than the Beatles. Like, come on now. Like, what you talking about? Like, it's just, I don't think it's a good comparison.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's like you said. I think that was great. A great point. It's just like everybody is, especially on the tail end of beef. Mm-hmm. Everything that you do from this point forward is going to be put under a magnifying glass. You could literally just be like, man, I took my son out for a walk. And like niggas going to try to decode it and it's like, oh, what is Drake talking about? Is he out here? You know what I'm saying? Like that's the place that he's in this particular season of his life. Yeah. Because, and that's something that I don't think T-Pain will understand also is because you haven't been on that scale of beef. I don't know if T-Pain's ever been in beef. I don't know. But like.
He had the one time when Jay-Z dropped Death for Auto-Tune. And again, I think that hurt his career. But
even at that,
wasn't
bro,
a beef.
Bro. Nah, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't even think Jay probably was just dropping.
Nah, that was a big deal. I think T-Pain might have talked about it.
He talked about he get his feelings.
when Jay dropped DOA, yeah.
You know what's sad about that? The nigga T-Pain can really sing.
Yes.
Like, he can really sing, bro. Like, he's talented.
He definitely is. But you know what? That's a prime example of, like...
No, hold up.
Now, go ahead. I'm going to let you go.
When this nigga Jay grab his ear like...
I'm going to let you go.
Sound crazy.
I was just about to say, like, there's a prime example of, number one, the culture. Like, for Drake, he might have dropped that and been like, look, I ain't even thinking about that no more. But the culture holds on to things so tough that it's like, you almost have to get into the space of like fight against your last moment. And that's why it's powerful for people who know to move on. Cause it's like, he probably ain't even thinking about that no more. But another thing is like T-Pain is popular in different arenas. Like he's really big into that, what do you call it?
Gaming, streaming?
That, and then also to the arena of like, I'm trying to think like neon lights, what is that called?
Kind of like pop culture.
Yeah, like the rages. Yeah. That's the word I was looking for, like the rages and stuff.
Oh, the raves. The raves. Yeah.
Raves. Thank you for correcting me. But yeah, no, it's definitely, he's popular over in that arena. He gets booked overseas all the time, but it's like the prime example of like you popular where you popular at. He's popular in his own different room.
What I will say though, speaking to that, if we're talking about gracefully bowing out of a fight when it's over, I don't think Drake did a good job at that. Because Drake, and I said it before, he's mentioned this shit way too many times past due. You're lost. Leave it alone. Make Nokia. Make, I don't know,
Call Your
Raining in
Body.
Houston. Like, make those songs. We don't want to hear you say nothing about Kendrick Lamar. So I don't think he's talking about that, because I think he was talking about, like, career. But if he's talking about, like, beef, I do agree. Because you spoke too much about it after it was over. Like, after, like, Not Like Us, if you're not going to drop a song that's going to top that, bro, leave it alone. You lost, bro. Respect, yo, my bad. You got it. You know what I'm saying? More
but that
power
might
to the
not
bigger.
have been an easy conversation for him to have with himself, going based off, like, what you said, even with the level that he's at.
Yeah.
That might have been a harder conversation, because it's like, you not only have to account for your personal feelings about it, like, he's probably constantly reminded that with the people around him, because of the level that he's at. So letting go might not have been as easy. So he might be making an effort. I like to look at things from the other side of the thought. Like, maybe he's trying to let it go, and part of letting it go is talking about it.
To that point.
You need to shut the fuck up.
Nah, she just made a good point, though. I didn't think about this, though. Imagine you get your ass whooped, right? Mm-hmm. And everywhere you go, you reminded you got your ass whooped.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like, and then the nigga that whoops your ass gets awards for whooping your ass. Mm-hmm. Gets shows for whooping your ass. Goes to your city and performs a song
in your hometown.
You just getting your ass whooped.
I ain't gonna lie, bro.
So either drop a hard song.
I might talk about it too.
Right, drop a hard song. Don't send no subs. Don't say after politicians. Don't call them goofs. Like, don't do, like, all that's corny. Either drop a song, like, he'll drop a song and then, like, he'll sprinkle some shit in it. Like, no. Drop a diss or something. If you're not going to drop a diss, shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear about it. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Like,
what more can you say, though, at this point?
Right. So, I don't want to, I'm just saying, I don't want to hear about the beef from Drake. Like, bro, you're a great artist. He's proven it. Kendrick Lamar said it. He's like, what'd he say?
We don't like Drake that tries to act tough. We like Drake with the melodies.
The other song, what'd he say? Like, you make songs that, what is it? You know, I forgot what he said. You make songs of something. I make songs of, I forgot what it said. Just do the melody thing. Do your Drake thing. It's cool, bro. You're still good.
He said, let it go, bro.
You had a good run with Meek, you know what I'm saying? Push. Kendrick Lamar, not so much. And it's okay. That doesn't take nothing away from your artistry. It ain't like you Ja Rule out here. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like you got 50 Cent. Like, bro, we still going to listen to your music. If anything, Ja Rule should be hurt. Because look what that shit did to his career. This ain't kill your career, bro. You still Drake. You're still Drake. But what I was going to say is to T-Pain. As talented as T-Pain is, it doesn't show in his shows. You ever been to a T-Pain show?
Nah, they say he body Coachella.
That shit was ass. I've been to the Preakness. Nigga ain't do shit. And I heard about it somewhere else. The nigga is lip singing. Like, the nigga ain't doing nothing creative. Like, what are you doing?
You didn't see the Coachella performance?
No, I didn't.
It was pretty good.
Maybe he did it because it was Coachella. And maybe that's the problem with niggas, bro. Niggas want to always perform to the level of the audience. No, bro, because I was at the Preakness. And the Preakness was a big thing. A big thing. So it's like, yo, you bring that to the Preakness. I don't want to go to Coachella to see you. Because I saw you here. You know what I'm trying to say? It's like, bro, I don't know. It just... He
like a solid for me, my experience. Just
you seen him live?
I don't recall, to be honest. But I was going to say, oh, yes, I did. Dang, what was that?
It clearly wasn't nothing to remember.
One Music Fest.
Oh, okay.
Stop playing.
It clearly wasn't nothing for him to remember.
One Music Fest. Look, he did right by being on that song with Glorilla, though. He definitely did right. That was cool.
The performance?
That was cool. I'm not gonna lie, the performance was cool. I was on the side. It was cool. It was cool. He had some going, but I don't know if, once again, talking about people performing at the level, like if you're performing with Glorilla and she's like one of the hottest thing, well, probably the hottest thing going right now, like, you know, you gotta come with a certain degree of performance.
His show was dry as fuck. Like,
that's one thing.
People was lit, but his mix was fire.
He was by himself?
Yes.
Okay.
His DJ was fire, phenomenal.
Oh,
he just was ass, bro. Like, the nigga ain't had no energy. He was just like, what are you doing? Like, and another thing I don't like was, I hate when people perform over the songs. He didn't have like a set, like a performance set, whereas though it's just a music where you're singing, you know what I'm saying? Like, the music was playing. Yeah, the track was playing, and I'm like,
maybe he was going through something. Maybe he was having a bad day.
Oh, that's maybe cancer of you.
Maybe you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe that wasn't a defining moment for his performance. Like, because I experienced him. He was cool. Like, I ain't gonna lie. And the crowd was hella hype at One Music Fest. I don't know if that's because it's down here too. Like, there's several different factors that could.
He wasn't the Migos, but he was still bad. I mean, if y'all ever seen the Migos perform, then he wasn't that bad, but he still was bad, bro. Like. Bad. You ever seen the Migos perform?
Yeah, it was bad.
Mm.
God rest his soul.
God rest his soul.
But yeah, it was bad, bro. Straight walking, microphone. That's it.
Right. So like, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad, bro. But I'm just saying, like, he just, I don't know, like, whatever.
All right, man. I'm gonna get one more topic, bro. This one is a little interesting.
What?
Because you just brought up 50 Cent, so I'm gonna bring this up. I think 50 Cent a real nigga. You know, Jay be like, bro.
Being an adult is understanding that 50 Cent is corny as shit.
No. All right, but listen to this.
Being an adult is understanding that 50 Cent ain't cool. And you, Alex, you know I love 50 Cent. You know that's one of my favorite people. But I gotta be real. The shit he do is corny, bro.
I'm gonna play this
as a grown-ass man, bro.
What, on social media?
Yes, bro.
It's consistent.
You always talking about people downfall.
It's consistent.
So you're consistently corny. Cool.
It's consistent.
You know what? A lot of things that I love because just knowing he's a Cancer and having a conversation, you realize that a lot of things that he does are literally for the response. It's for the response. And he knows how people are going to respond. And that's how calculated it is. Because being a Cancer, and I don't know if you can vouch for this, we think about things thoroughly. Mm-hmm. Especially when we're in a place to where we're feeling, but we're processing and executing differently. Like, it's very calculated. And when you look at it from that perspective, that's why you fuck with him so tough. Because it's calculated nonsense. There's structure to it still, even with it being nonsense. And it does what it needs to do every single time.
While they down, calculated or not, is fucking corny.
No. Okay, let me say, okay.
He waits for his response, though. Like, a lot of people will do little things, and this is just my experience as a Cancer. We let it fly for a very long time.
Not 50.
He's not.
That's why I was saying.
That's his boundary.
If 50 started talking about Diddy only when the case happened,
That would
now I'm
be
like, he's
different.
corny.
Facts.
That nigga 50 been talking about Diddy. That nigga 50 said Diddy try to take him shopping. He said this way before.
What did he try to do?
He said the nigga try to take me shopping. So I can understand if the nigga just as soon as it happened, it's like, nah, you dot.
And he
The
comes with
nigga stays
receipts.
consistent.
Facts.
If he don't like you, the nigga not gonna like you from grade A to whenever you walk out of there. That's why I'm like, you know what?
As a grown ass man, bro, I'm not trying to be that invested in other people's
We
business,
understand. See, we were just talking about it. The reason why we're 1% better is because we can accept our flaws. The nigga 50 know he's flawed and don't care. I can respect that. Now, if you try to come out here and you try to perpetrate that you're something that you're not, cool. But he knows who he is and has been consistent. And that is why, for this particular reason, I was like, wow, I didn't expect this. So Nelly went on a podcast with Fat Joe and Jada Kiss, and he was and Ashanti, and he talked about the situation with 50, and this is what he had to say.
But 5 was right back here, right? So I'm hyped. Kid. I didn't got hype. I didn't got big. I said, babe, 50. I'll make that. Apologize. You want me to go over there? What? You make? Don't be looking. You want me to go make? She was nah. No way in my heart that I'm thinking she gonna tell me to go over there. She's like, yeah, babe. Yep. That's a New York girl. That's a New York girl. Yo, that's a New York girl. So Kiss, I'm like, I'm going. So I turn around. She can't see my face. I'm walking towards 5 like, hey, man, let me hop like that. You know, table full of G Unit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh God, this all right, this is not gonna go well. You know what I'm saying? And I started laughing, coming. He cracked a smile, and I was like, hey, man, do me a favor. Do me a favor. Will you, old lady, man, do me a favor, man. Apologize for it, man. Ashanti, I'm sorry.
That's exactly what he said.
In the middle of the
whole crowd in the audience.
I was like, I turned back around to her. Talking about. By the way, I had personally 20 meetings with him over her.
Oh my God, yes.
Without her even knowing, I done sat down with him 20 different times. It was like, yo, bro, she got nothing that, like, you know, that's my sister. You bugging out this. 20. Yeah. No, he just told me to Mo. I know she got nothing to do with it, Mo, but what you want me to do is war.
Man.
I was like,
I was hot.
yeah. You was hot over that, right?
Yeah, I didn't have nothing to do with it. And then after he said his signs, like, yeah, all right.
Yeah. I was like,
okay.
Thank you. I thought that shit was gonna go left. I swear to God.
And then 50 posted it.
Yep.
He was like, no lies told.
No lies told, bro.
I thought it was cool. I think because we've seen so many, like we seen the especially him posting Joe Budden. I mean, him posting
Joe Budden too.
him posting Fat Joe's podcast because he had smoke with Fat Joe too, right?
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was,
Around that whole situation.
yeah. So I thought it was cool. It was like, you know, like he ain't lying.
Nah, I think so. There was a lot from that I had to unpack. One, shout out to Nelly being confident enough to be like, nigga, I was scared. like I was scared, bro, to approach it. But it was just funny because
I mean, what else you gonna do though? You with your girl? He probably was drunk. Like, man, I'll make that nigga apologize. And then once he, like,
but this is it. Go ahead.
So I called like asking this nigga's hungry, right? In my mind, I don't want everybody to say yeah, but I gotta do what I gotta do, right? So when somebody say no, I'm like, all right, yes. Same thing. He with his girl, he like, I'll make that nigga apologize. He don't know she gonna really say,
Right.
Go make that nigga apologize. He hoping she like, nah, baby, it ain't
Nah,
nothing.
don't worry about it.
She like, nah, yeah.
Stand on business.
He like,
Now you walking up to a table with 20 niggas.
what the fuck you gonna do? Like, all right, okay, cool.
And see, that let you know it's real though, because he respected it enough to just do it.
Yeah.
That's why I said 50.
But you got to. What you gonna do in that position? You should have said that. Now you got to do it.
No, I'm talking about 50 though.
Oh, yeah,
50
yeah.
could have been like,
He could have been like,
fuck you and her, like,
but
you know what I'm saying?
He had to have respected it to a certain degree, because one thing that isn't depicted all the time is the background of like letting shit go with 50. Like a lot of times it's just like he never gonna let anything.
Yeah,
go. So
I don't think he's seen. Yeah, I don't think we seen him even bring that up though.
Yeah.
Yeah, fact. So that's a good point.
I feel like there's a lot of battles that he probably fights silently, where it's just like again. But when he's being fofty, as he'll say, then you see the
be quiet for a little bit and then you just see it. But see, he's like one of those people where it's like everything he does is taken to the next level.
50 hasn't been
And
quiet
it's a
for the
beautiful
past 5
thing.
summers. I
This
ain't
is
gonna
what
lie
I'm
to you.
saying, though. I feel like some of the clips and even things that happen in real time, it's been 20 times where he didn't respond. But it's like when he really take it there, then everybody does it. So for me, I know myself too. I got to check myself sometimes. When I get in them seasons where I'm finally setting boundaries, I act a little different. You know, my tolerance for anything at that point is subject to the same thing. Like, I'm going to cut you off before I even give you too much time to do this. But that can be exhausting. So I feel like he goes in and out.
Let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
You were at the spot with your man, right?
Yeah.
Somebody that you had smoke, or somebody had smoke with you, right? And he like, man, babe, I'll make that nigga apologize right now.
Yeah, go do it.
Are you going to tell him do it?
Respectfully. But it's like, now I won't attach any expectation to that because it's like, okay, well, I'm very much that way now. Where it's like, all right, don't talk about it, just do it.
So if he say it, you ain't going to be like, nah, baby, don't worry about it.
No.
Because
Because if you brought it up, that means you clearly are thinking about it. If I didn't say nothing to you, you brought it up. That means it's on your heart. So stand on it. If that's what we're doing.
So, men, this is a disclaimer from the 1% Better Show. If you out with your lady,
Don't ask if you ain't
just
prepared
shut
to
the
move.
fuck up.
Yes.
Just shut the fuck up.
If you're not prepared to move, don't talk about it.
oh my God, I'm thinking she going to say, I'm not even tripping about him. I don't need no apology. Fuck
No,
that nigga.
because I'm over here making peace with it. Clearly, you haven't made peace with it if you brought it up, and I didn't say anything about it. Now, if I said something about it, then I probably would be subject to be like, no, I'm just playing. But if you brought it up, that means as a man, you feel like something needs to be corrected. So I'm gonna follow your lead if that's what we're doing.
Okay,
go
so
ahead.
let me ask this question now. Follow up, because there's about 20 niggas. He walked up there by himself.
That's real. I respect you because you walked up there with
You know,
me.
let's
Get his
behind
ass
you.
whooped,
I'm
too.
gonna say.
I'ma
Now,
help.
if he get his ass, you
I'm
gonna help.
I'm gonna help bandage you up. No.
Oh, I was gonna
Bandage you up. Pause.
No.
Listen, I know a woman's place. That probably wasn't my place because I wasn't gonna do all that. You brought it up, but if you do get your ass, well, I'm gonna stand beside you. I'm gonna stand beside you because I respect the fact that you walked up to 21. Because if it was 20 with him, you walked up to 21, and then guess what he did? He minded his manners. So I know, hey, okay, you everything you said you are. I like that.
So let me ask you this, though. Hearing the story on the other side, though, because it wasn't like no tough shit, though.
Yeah.
Is it still respectable? Is it still commendable? Because he
didn't
literally
have to
went up
do
to him
all
saying,
that.
yo. It wasn't like, yo, it's a different energy. It wasn't like, yo, apologize to my shorty. He was like, yo, bro, come on, bro.
But I think he's a Scorpio, bro. It's water sign. He didn't have to do too much. He didn't have to raise hell in order to get his desired result. All he had to do was just show up to the conversation, and it was respected.
All right, so I said, man.
Go ahead.
Because I'm thinking, if a man come at me like that, I probably would apologize or I probably would hear him out because he ain't on no disrespectful shit. But the way you brought it to your woman, it just don't, to me, it don't match energy. Like, you know, like, I'll make that nigga apologize right now. Going from, I'll make that nigga apologize right now to, yo, bro, can you please apologize to my girl? That's two different energy. Like, so that's what I'm saying. Do you feel differently hearing it on the other side now, hearing him break it down?
I think a lot of niggas have been in that situation.
No, facts, I'm with you.
I think a lot of niggas have been in that situation. I think it's just a matter of getting the job done.
Okay,
you had to get the
Right.
job done.
All
No
right.
matter what
That's
you
it.
needed to do, you get the job done in that situation. There's no one path. Now, at the core of you gotta know I'm not that tough nigga though.
So I ain't even bringing it to my girl like I'm that tough nigga. I can say, you know, I think I'm
You
just
might have been
literal.
drunk.
Yeah, you might be drunk. I'm a literal nigga. So I might be like, yo, babe, want me holler at him real quick? That's different.
See, I feel that, though. I feel that,
Like,
though.
I-
But we
like-
don't know if that was the conversation, though.
But she
listen.
said, you want me, I'll make that nigga apologize right now.
But he did. He didn't say how.
You asked.
He didn't say I'm gonna beat the shit out of this nigga and I'm gonna make him apologize, begging you for
You ain't make him
forgiveness.
do nothing. You asked him.
But sometimes
He said-
helping getting something done is asking the question. So you
Okay.
might have just asked, but you still got the desired result. He
He said,
apologized. He didn't have to do too much. He didn't. The blog wasn't that.
Okay.
We just heard about it on the podcast. We ain't see no breakout, no fight, no ass whoop.
And respect. Charlamagne did say Nelly was the only nigga he was ever afraid to on the Breakfast Club.
He did.
Yeah.
Because of
He
Shanti.
said that.
No, he was like he was quiet. I guess Nelly went on the Breakfast Club, and Charlamagne he been said this time and time again. Everybody asked him like, "Yo, all the shit you got into in the Breakfast Club, was it anybody you was afraid of?" He was like Nelly, because he was talking shit about Nelly album or whatever, like niggas like ash on it and all that. And Nelly was like, "Man, we keep retainers for niggas like you," but he was calm. You know, everybody be like big bad.
So now you see it though.
Yeah.
You don't got to do too much. Like some people's hot is calm.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Nah, I think, I never would want to. Nelly, I can see that. I definitely would never want to be for 50 Cent, though.
No.
Y'all need it. When y'all get a moment, I need to go on YouTube and just go type in 50 Cent most gangster moments. If you want to laugh, this nigga's unhinged.
Yeah.
He's unhinged.
He's definitely unhinged.
But shout out to Growth. Shout out to him doing this moment. And shout out to a great episode, man.
Nah, fact. Did we have anything else? That was it?
I mean, we can't. Son, you watch Love Island?
No.
You ain't watched Love Island. Bro.
What I will say is, though,
Bro.
from a production standpoint,
Bro.
They're doing an excellent job.
These niggas is
It's
killing
everywhere.
it.
It's everywhere.
they drop every day.
37 episodes in a season are out.
Yeah.
Bro, they had more views than the NBA finals.
Man, shout
Shout out to them.
out to them. It's my time though.
Look, same grace.
Oh.
Same grace.
You're on the clock?
Yeah.
All right. 1% better. Episode 22.
What we calling this episode? Perfect timing.
Perfect timing.
Perfect timing.
Shout out, man. Happy early birthday.
Thank
Yo,
you.
appreciate
Same
you
to
pulling up, man.
Thank you guys so much for
Letting
having
the people
me.
know how to follow you and everything before we get out of
You
here.
guys can follow me on Instagram at Big Kayla Inc. And then also I post motivational clips and prayers and things on the Big Energy Room.
All right, man. Mr. J Hill,
Alexander Blanc.
1% better.